All right. Hello, my fellow traders. Hello to my fellow friends. Welcome to another weekly edition of Happy Hour with the Lincoln. Let me give you all the official cheers. This is where week by week I'll do my best to answer all of your stock market related questions, tell tales and rant about specific stock market topics, and share my 2 decades of trading experience with you, all in the attempts to help you become a more successful and a more well-rounded trader. Now, before I get started with today's topic, I'm going to say something, and I might regret what I'm about to say. But I got to say it now, right? Because I've already let the cat out of the bag. So here it is. Starting Monday, this Monday, I am going to offer free, unlimited access to our live trade room. That's right, free, unlimited access. No credit card needed. I don't even need your name. Just send me an email to this address and title it Trial. And I will get you set up and you can trade all next week, unlimited access with us, Monday through Friday, the whole week, actually the whole trading week. So I've never done anything like this before, and I hope I don't regret this. Don't make me regret it. Now, you might say, why are you doing this? Well, let's call it the Get Off Your Ass program, right? I mean, we just started 2020. So many of you reach out to me on a daily basis asking for a free trial. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. But I also want everyone to get off to a really good start in 2020. I think the first month of the year is very, very important to build the momentum for the rest of the year. So I want to offer this to each and every one of you. Plus, we've started out this year. Every day's been green. It's been one of the best starts to a year that I've ever had. So I want each and every one of you to enjoy this and experience this as well. And hopefully you guys can make some money with it too. So again, if that's something that you're interested in, right here is my email address. Send me an email in the subject box, put trial, and I'll get you all set up. So here's what I'm going to talk about today. I think we're going to like this topic, because I think we've all felt at one time or the other that the more we learn about stock market trading, the worse our results get, right? So let me read this question that I got, and then I'll go through it a little bit more in detail, and I think you'll understand some more about it. So here it is. Doug, I've studied the stock market for over 3 years now. I spent the first year paper trading. Then 2 years ago, I funded my account and I started trading real money. I followed your advice by starting out with small position sizes, but I panicked. So I lowered my sizes, but I continued to panic just the same. And I kept losing money week after week. Then when I jumped back on my simulated account, I made money right away. It's so frustrating. I feel that I know what it is I'm supposed to do. And I know what's going to happen, but when it all comes down to it, I can't get the results. I feel like I'm the smartest loser in the world. I like that line. Now, whoever wrote this, you know who you are. You're not a loser. But don't we all feel like that? Like the smartest loser in the world sometimes? Like we've got all of this education. We know what's going to happen. When it comes down to it, we can't do one thing. One thing that's important. We can't execute. Now, many of you have followed me for a long time, and you know how critical I am of simulated accounts. And this is the reason why, because they take away from the trader the very most important thing that you need, and that's your ability to manage your emotions. So when it all comes down to it, there are thousands and thousands of traders out there trading thousands and thousands of different strategies. The strategy always makes up the smallest part of it. You just need a strategy so you don't waste your time bouncing around randomly and wasting time. That's why you need a strategy. But when you don't need the moving averages, the MACDs, the floor pivots, the RSI, when it all comes down to it, it's up here. It's your ability to function and execute well while you are under pressure, right? Now, one of the things here about this as well is sometimes the more that we learn, like I said, your results are worse. And one of the reasons is because you try to become too perfect. You know, when you're just haphazardly buying stuff, you're not thinking, oh, it's overbought. Oh, it's oversold. Oh, it's, 10 points above VWAP or something like that. But the more knowledge that you get, the more perfect we often try to become. And the more perfect we try to get with something that's imperfect, such as the stock market, we obviously get bad results. And then sometimes that also has a snowball effect that when trades work out, you cut them early because you think it's too high. It's ran too far. It hit a moving average. It hit a VWAP. It hit some sort of an indicator, and you feel like you should sell, and it just blows right through it. This is why I hope many of you attended the webinar, because I talked about why this happened. And the same thing when stocks go against you. So I know how all of this feels, and I know what we go through here. So first, trading is all mental. It's all 90% of it happens between your ears. And this is why it's something that a human being can't learn over a period of 1 month. So when you're seeing the advertisements, this person learned in 30 days and became a millionaire. In 6 months, they made $1 million. Now, there might be a very small amount of people that ever did that, if that was even true in the first place. But for the majority, that's not reality. And the reason is not because you need screen time. You need to sit in front of a computer for hours upon hours upon hours upon hours if you want to be a day trader, and study not just your strategy, but study the nuances and the way the market moves. And it's insignificant. I'm trying to say a word. I can't get the damn thing out. I'm going to have another whiskey. Maybe I'll go. Inefficiencies. There it was. Inefficiencies. What can I do? It's a Friday. You have to learn those things. And it comes down to a trader's ability to execute. Now, a lot of you've heard this before, but I always know there's a lot of people that watch Happy Hours for the first time. The simple solution to trading, the formula that I've always said repetitively: idea, execution, management. That's all trading is. You come up with that first. Then you must execute that idea to the best of your ability based on what it is that you're seeing. Then where all the money is made after that is like your management. How your ability to management. I guess it's like golf. You drive for show, you putt for dough. That's where the money's made. The money's made a trader in managing. Now, when you move to a simulated account, that's the bad habits that it puts this false sense of confidence in you, because you're trading something with no emotion. Because if you lost $10,000 on a trade in a simulated account, it's not real. You don't care. You'll be like, oh, that sucks. And then you just forget about it the next day. You don't even remember. And to me, it's really hard to build a foundation and practice on that for a long period of time, because you can't. You'll trade heavier. You'll be riskier just naturally because you know that it's not real money. You won't always do those things. Now, sometimes a lot of us are just better traders on sim accounts because that's what it is. We don't have any emotion. We're like lifeless robots that don't care, and we just start, plugging away at it, clicking away at it, and we do better. So if you're somebody that excels well on a sim account, you've got to ask yourself, where's that real problem come from? Why can't I translate half of this or most of this over to my real business? What is it that I'm doing? Now, one of the things I did to kind of combat this, because I struggled with this a lot, was I've mentioned this stuff before. None of this is new, but I turned off my P&L. I simply refused to look at it throughout the day. I don't know how much money I have made or lost until the day is over. I just will not, under any circumstance, look at it. And that's the reason why. And I also stopped looking at my trading positions over and over again. I know a lot of traders micromanage their positions, and I guess if you're super heavy on your trades, then you do that. But I've noticed for me what works best for me, and this is only me, I can just speak for myself, is that turning off my P&L, ignoring that and just trying to focus on the chart. I don't want to know how much I'm up. I don't want to know how much I'm down, because to me, that will influence my decision. Because if I buy something and I'm instantly in the negative and I'm staring at it and I'm watching it get worse, then maybe I'll think I made a bad decision. And then I'll panic out of the trade, maybe very similar to what this trader's experiencing. Then you look at the chart and you ask yourself, why did I sell there? That wasn't even at support. It didn't even go down but 10 cents, 20 cents or something like that. It was really stupid. I shouldn't have done that at all. So I don't even look at it. I don't. And of course, I mentioned the story a long time ago. I think it was like a Happy Hour 4, that I used to use one of those kitchen timers, those little dials. And that would keep me in a position. So I'd say, no matter what, I'm going to hold this for like 20 minutes, and I'd set this thing. Now, the reason I did that is because as soon as this is how I was like in 2003. I'd sit here it's like the whole day I'd be hunched over. This is my screen over here, by the way. So I'd be looking like this, like 3 inches from the screen, and I'd be sitting here and I'd be pushing my button and I'd be like, looking at it, and it would be flipping up and down like, oh, sell. And I would sell for like 3 cents, 3 cents, 8 cents, right? It's not a story. I'm laughing at myself, right? Fortunately, I can do that right now, but I'd sell when I got in the green because I was too worried it was going to come down. And it's like, geez, it's $100 stock. You can't give up more than 3 freaking cents. What's wrong with you, dude? And that's what happened. You'd win on a lot of these things, but you'd make like $10, and all of a sudden you'd get smoked for like 500, 600, or $1,000 like that, and go, well, there went all my gains. So I had this bad problem of fixating and wanting to work. And I think a lot of us traders go through something similar, maybe not as dramatic, but I think we all go through it. And this is what kind of takes me back to the original starting point about sometimes the more we learn, it can inhibit us from being who we really are and letting things work. Sometimes it works against us. And that was because I would feel like it was already overbought. It's like once I started learning how to read charts, I immediately thought everything in the world was overbought. That's right where my mind went. It's all overbought. It's all overbought. And that's not true. So those problems are what I had. And I would just stay in trades. I would turn it off. I stopped micromanaging. I don't look at my positions. I give them all 20 to 30 minutes in most cases. And that's worked out well for me. That plan of action worked out. So if that's somebody like you and you're struggling with something to execute, we have to execute. And we know what we're doing, we rehearse, we have a plan, but we have to execute the plan. It sucks to miss trades, especially trades that were going to be winners. It really sucks to be in trades that you already had and you sold for a loss, and then 30 minutes later it's a winner. That's a really tough thing that traders have to deal with. Now, you'll never get away from that. That's always going to happen from time to time. When you start out trading, it happens obviously a lot more, but you're always going to have to deal with it. And that's also the pressure for a trader. You deal with those things. You see things every day that you missed. You see things that you weren't able to get into. You were in something yesterday that's up a hell of a lot today. That's the life you got to live if you want to be here. I mean, you can't have it both ways. You can't have every single trade work for you, never put you in the red, and never ever get a loss. That doesn't happen. And for some people, it's not a matter of intelligence. It's just not a lifestyle for them. Some people just simply cannot live with that stress on themselves mentally. So a big piece of a trader's success in the business is rolling with the punches and understanding, hey, I got to deal with this. This is what I got to deal with. So again, take yourself from a spot where you are right now. If you're somebody that's panicking and somebody that's struggling with this, you're struggling with that execution, just try to find the right spots and just do your best. It'll be tough at first. It'll be nerve-wracking and stressful, but try to fight your way through that. Pay attention to the chart. If you're a technical analysis trader, pay attention to the chart. The chart always wins. It doesn't matter if the market's tanking. Pay attention to the chart that you're reading. It doesn't matter if the market's going parabolic. Pay attention to the chart you're trading. Pay attention to those levels. Before you make a decision, whatever you do as a trader, you never panic. More people have lost money. More people have lost their lives and gone nuts over panic. Don't do it. Just take a breath, take a deep breath and refocus, right? So anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it right there. Join me for chat, trade room. I'll show you how not to panic. I'll show you how to stay in the pocket. So I hope to see each and every one of you there Monday. As always, thanks for watching the Happy Hours. Cheers.